The Sunflower Children's Hospice has been in the works for the last 8 years, and it started when a family came to me and said, don't forget about the children. At that time we were building our Mayo Hospice and our Roscommon Hospice, and we couldn't really look at it at that time. But I did keep it in the back of my mind, and I knew we were going to investigate and see what exactly were the needs were and what were the challenges facing these children and their families. Thankfully for the HSE, they did some research and some official research into it to establish the need for this children's hospice. I'm also so grateful to our board who got behind me and included it in our strategy for 22-26. The need is stark. The challenges these families are facing are really horrendous. And what they need is, and what they deserve, is choice of service. There is no children's hospice in the west of Ireland. No family should have to do a 6-hour round trip for these services. So we are absolutely adamant that this will be built and opened within the next 3 years.
And from that, what we found is that parents particularly wanted to have a hub where services for their children were coordinated. They wanted to ensure that that coordination really worked well for them. Staff wanted to ensure that they had the appropriate education and that they were supported to care for children. And the final thing, I suppose, which is most important for us, is parents wanted a choice. They wanted a choice of if their child was to die, where they could die. So they wanted a place. What's exciting, the next steps, is that we'll be working together as partners. The HSE, the charity, the Mayo Roscommon Hospice Foundation, and the parents will co-design, will collaborate on this project going forward.
Our research piece actually has informed us that what we need to do is move forward with providing both respite, great hospice and specialist palliative care for children in the region, but also to look at increasing the capacity for those elements of children's palliative care nationally.
This is a really special day for us, but it is, as you say, it's part of a really long-standing relationship that has existed between the health services and Mayo Roscommon Hospice, going back over 30 years or so, and it has involved us working closely between the hospital and community services. It has resulted in the new hospice being built here in Castlebar, new hospice being built in Roscommon, and now we're planning towards the development of a children's hospice for this whole region in the west of Ireland. That's only possible because of the partnership between Mayo Roscommon Hospice and the HSE. It's great.
Yeah, look, it's a great day. It's been a long road to get here, and we know it's the first step in a long journey to getting the hospice and the service built. But look, it is a service that is seriously needed in the region. There are families and parents with children with life-limiting conditions that need these services. So we're just hoping to be able to provide them and provide the best possible care we can for the people of the region. We already provided for the adults of the region with our 2 hospices, and this was a natural progression just to extend it on to cover the children and young adults for the region.
A wonderful day for the western seaboard and west of Shannon. It means an awful lot really for the family. I mean, I can only speak on our own behalf and our own experience, but I'm sure many families have experienced similar. But like, we had a great palliative care community team, GPs, disability services, all that, but really the final part of the jigsaw for us was the physical building of a hospice west of the Shannon. And in our own case, our son Kevin died in Dublin. So when he died, I was halfway across the country, the children were at home. It would have made it so much easier that if there was a hospice building in the west, that we could have all got there on time. Our family could have got there, our extended family, our friends, the important people in Kevin's life that could have been with him at the end or near the end. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, and I'm sure we're not the only ones. But the fact now that this building will be in Castlebar, I think will make such a difference for so many families. Well, palliative care is actually, it's a word or words that frighten people. Nobody likes to go under palliative care, nobody likes to hear about it, but it's actually a wonderful thing. When you go under palliative care, our experience was you feel protected. It's like a cushion of compassion.
But as Chuck said, you know, palliative isn't necessarily a bad word. It brings so much love, so much care, and in a time of darkness, palliative brings brightness and gives some happy moments along a tough time. So today is about bringing that physical building to the west of Ireland, taking that geographical barrier away, making the ultimate journey that so much easier. And ultimately, it's a little bit about saying to families who are on this journey, Your community cares for you, your community loves you, your community is going to help carry this cross, and we're going to have a place to do it all from.
The real work starts now. So it's going to cost us 14 million plus to build this hospice. We have already raised 7 million. So we need everybody to get behind the Sunflower Children's Hospice, and if they're thinking of picking a charity of the year, doing a fundraiser, donating from their company, think of the Sunflower Children's Hospice, go to hospice.ie, and we can promise that we will build this like we built the Mayo and Roscommon hospices and give our children and young adults with life-limiting illnesses equity of service that they really deserve.